it's friendly neighbour nerd Tori here. How are we? I hope you're all doing well. So if you remember last year, I mentioned that the Winnie the Pooh musical from Broadway was finally coming over to the UK. It was going to be doing a little stop in London before setting off on a national tour. Well, I've just got home from seeing it at my local venue. Well, local, I had to still travel like an hour to go there, but it was the localist who was coming to me. And it's, I think you're watching this in September, but it is 27th of August for me, and I've finally seen it. It's been in the country since about April, and yeah, I'm so happy I've finally seen it. So many people I know have already been to see it on like when it was in London and when it's been on tour in their local venues, and I've just been hearing so many good things about it, and I was just so excited to finally see it. So we've got a little bit of a review, a little haul because I've managed to stay quite controlled, and the curtain call bows a little bit at the end because obviously you're not allowed to take film and photography during the show, but at the beginning of the show Owl does like a voiceover to say, you know, turn off your phones, no videoing, no photos, but you are allowed to film and take photos when they come out for the bows at the end. So I will include that now for you to enjoy. Isn't it just the cutest? So I think we'll start off with the haul quickly, because there was one thing I knew I definitely wanted going into the show, and then there was one thing I was like, I'll think about it, and then I ended up getting it. But I also picked up a couple of freebies. Let me just get them. So obviously when you're like walking into the theatre, there's obviously like all the leaflets down the side near the box office of shows coming soon, and they still had some of the Winnie the Pooh leaflets. So I picked up a couple. In the summer house outside, my dad has like this wall where he'll like pin up leaflets of like West End shows and tour shows he's in. So I got one of them to go on that wall, and then I picked up another one just for me because, you know, I'll need it. I also got some other freebies. The lady at the merch stall gave me some stickers, but they're still in my bag downstairs, and I literally only just remembered them, and I'm too comfy to go move now. But they are little stickers with like the logo of the show on. Yeah. So the first thing I picked up, which is what I knew I wanted, one of my friends who went to a previous show on the tour, I asked if she could send me the prices for all the merch, so like I could have a little idea going into things, because I knew I needed a plushie. I think you all knew that I needed the plushie. So all of the plushies were £25 each, and I knew I wanted the Pooh Bear one. And interestingly enough, I don't know if it's just because my show was like towards the end of the tour, they've only got another 2 stops, 2 cities after this. So, and obviously I've been over here for a while. I don't know if it's because of that, or if, I'm not too sure, but they didn't have any Tigger plushies, and I found that really interesting. They had Pooh, Piglet and Eeyore, but they didn't have any Tigger. And I'm sure I've seen Tigger about. It was just very interesting that they sold out of him. I don't know, but I wanted Pooh there, and I'm guessing out of all of them, Pooh's going to be the one they overstock for, because they know he's going to be the one that's going to be most popular. He was £25. As soon as I saw pictures of the merch from its London stop, I'd like braced myself that it was gonna be pricey. But £25 for this size plush isn't too bad when like you put it into consideration to like Shop Disney and Disney parks. He's like a medium-sized plush. I think that's pretty decent as well for a touring show. I think that's pretty decent. And it does say on the label, Winnie the Pooh, the musical adaptation. And he's got like a velvety t-shirt on, and he is so fluffy. I don't know if the camera is like showing the level of fluffiness he is. I love him so much. and I went with my mum, and her favourite character is Eeyore, and she got the Eeyore version of the plushie as well. And then the other thing I picked up, because I am like a theatre girly anyway, I think you know this, I do love a good musical. I always like to collect the programmes for shows, and this didn't really have like a programme. This is like the closest to it. It's a book of the show, which kind of like doubles up as a programme, but it's like a hardback book. This was £15. Look how cute it is. And at the, obviously it's got like all the credits, you know, like, also I really like this page. How cute is that? Obviously it's got like all the credits of like who wrote all the songs and all the writers and all the puppeteers, and it's got like some pictures of the puppets. Then it has this whole section of like all the scenes. So like it's the first scene is autumn, and then it's like a little story version of the show, and then it moves on to the winter scene, the spring scene, and then the summer scene. In case you haven't seen the show, there's like 4 scenes in it and like works through the seasons. And it's just really cute. And then there's a bit about the costumes, because there's a sketch of them. Because in case you didn't know about this show, it's like all puppeteer work. So like the puppeteer for Pooh, his feet is like attached to Pooh's feet to control that. And then his Pooh is attached to his middle. And then he's controlling Pooh with one of his hand. It's like, yeah, so he's like connected to the Pooh. And then I didn't realise this until I was reading through this. So all of the puppeteers in the show are wearing these like blue overalls and like blue style outfits. So the overalls and all of the denim is inspired by like painters and decorators. And the whole idea behind that was because these puppeteers are painting Christopher Robin's imagination to life. I'm sorry, that's just adorable and like really thought out. And then the colours of the puppeteers' outfits are based off of Christopher Robin's outfit, because Christopher Robin is featured at the beginning and the end of the show, and he's obviously in blue. He's like that outfit. So all of the puppeteers' outfits are made to reflect Christopher Robin, because they are basically his imagination, you know, painting out all of these scenes. Then each of the puppeteers, so here got more of them. You've got Tigger's one, Kanga's one, Eels and Piglets, and all of these also double up as extra the woodland creature ensemble, and some of them also double up as like owl and rabbit. Pooh's the only puppeteer where he's just Pooh. So, but all of these like have their main, like he's mainly Tigger, but he also does, I think you get the gist. All of their like decorators outfits, well, we've established the painted and decorated outfits, are all loosely then, so the colours are based, so the outfits are made look like painted and decorators. Colours are based on Christopher Robin, but then the actual outfits themselves are made to resemble the character they are portraying. So like here for Tigger, the puppeteer wears a Jughead style cap in a sense of Tigger's personality, and his painterly abstract stripes mimicking Tigger. Kanga's puppeteer had patchwork on her overalls to mimic like the patches on Kanga, and like the puppeteer for Piglet had a striped t-shirt on under her overalls, and that's obviously to mimic Piglet. So that, I don't know if the camera picked that up, but there's like a cat, there's a cat fight going on outside. Well, that don't sound good. Anywho, all of the puppeteers' outfits, when I was watching the show and I've been seeing it online, I always wondered like why they went with like blue overalls and that kind of thing. And now when you read this book, you're like, that is so thought out and so clever. I absolutely love that. And then there's pictures of like the actual puppets themselves. They were so cute and they looked so fluffy, and I just wanted to hug them. Yeah, it's pretty much like a program, but just in book form. Oh, and of course, there's actual pictures from the show. I absolutely loved Rabbit in the show. Look at him. He's so cool. Is there a picture of Owl as well? I need to show you Owl. Oh, there he is. We love him. I'm just trying to think, was there anything else in this book I wanted to talk to you about? Oh yeah, there's a little bit about this. The set was so cool, and it was like interactive as well for all the characters, and I really like that. Cute little pictures and quotes. Okay, yeah, I don't need to flick through the entire book with you, but yeah, you get the gist. It's cute. It's really well thought out. Most of the songs in it are songs like you already know, like obviously the wonderful thing about Tigger's, it starts off with the Winnie the Pooh theme tune. In the winter scene, they sung the song about when it snows Tiddly Pum, I can't remember how it goes, but it was so cute hearing that song because as a kid, and I literally still have it now, I have a bowl which has like the snowy scene of them walking and then the lyrics around the top, and it was just so cute. So most of the songs like you already know, but then there was a couple new ones like added in, and it was just so cute and sweet. The show was just over an hour long. I think it was like 65 minutes without an interval, so it's just complete run through, and it went by so quickly for me. I was like so immersed in it, like going on these adventures with Pooh and friends, and oh my god, it was just so amazing. All of the puppeteers were absolutely incredibly talented, and they were obviously, all the actors in it are doing all the voices for the characters as well, and they just sounded amazing. They sounded just like, you know, our beloved characters, which was so cool. As you probably could tell from the little bows video I took, I did have front row. So when the tour got announced in the UK and they announced all the venues, it was then up to the venue itself as to when tickets went on sale. Some went on sale immediately, some were like whenever. It was literally up to, you know, the venue itself. The venue I went to didn't do it immediately, it did it like a few weeks after the initial announcement, and so I signed up for to be notified when it went on release, and when it was ticket release day I was like on there the minute tickets dropped. And we worked out, because you know like when you book tickets for like a theatre and you have to like select your seats, and you know usually like the ones that are sold are like greyed out. When we were doing it, all of the seats were available. I think I may have been the first person to book tickets for that show. Does that surprise you though? Does that surprise anyone? So naturally, when I'm given full range of a whole theatre where I'm going to sit, obviously I chose front row. I was then so out of my excitement I booked front row, and I was then quite worried. I was like, about how the stage was going to be. I was like, am I not going to see anything? But the stage was like perfect height, and like obviously with the height of the characters and the height of the actors and the set, everything just worked out perfectly, and I think I had absolutely perfect seats. And there was like some bits like where the characters would like wave at the audience or like talk to the audience. Well, not talk directly to them, but you know like how in Winnie the Pooh they do break the fourth wall a bit, stuff like that. And so because I was sat, this is literally my outfit I wore, and I'm sat there on front row literally holding my Pooh bear like this. So yeah, a few of the times like the characters did look over to me, so so obviously I don't want to spoil the plot too much because it is still new. Yes, it has been running on Broadway for a while, and it's obviously been over here in the UK since April, and its tour almost coming to an end, but it is still fairly new as a show, so I'm pretty sure it's still going to go off around the world. I'm sure it'll go back to Broadway. I'm sure it's got more of a future here in the UK as well. So I don't want to give too many spoilers in case, you know, there's still a chance it's going to come back in the future and people that haven't already seen it are going to see it. But just a quick little overview. So obviously you've got all the 100 Acre Wood characters. Christopher Robin comes in the beginning, and then he leaves a note for Pooh because he's going off to school. And obviously the 100 Acre Wood characters don't know what school is, they don't know how long it's going to last or what it is. So then they set off on adventures together without Christopher Robin while he's at school, and they go through all the seasons and they get set off on little adventures. Like there's Tigger teaching Roo bouncing lessons, there's trouble with Rabbit's carrots, Owl's offering pieces of advice, Pooh's getting stuck in honey pot trees. There's a game of Pooh Sticks, which is very interactive and I thought that was very cool. And all by the time Christopher Robin's school day comes to an end and he comes back to the forest. So that's a very quick overview of it, because I don't want to give too much away. I definitely will say the majority of the audience were under the age of 6. But if you're like me, a Disney adult, you can definitely get full enjoyment out of it. I think you can definitely get more enjoyment out of it as a Disney adult who obviously like grew up with Winnie the Pooh, and it's so wholesome and like nostalgic and just so cute. So yeah, when I was telling people that I was like going to the show, everyone was like, no, well that's like designed for kids, and no it's not, and no it wasn't. Like, oh, like you got to appreciate like all the art and hard work that went into it. Like what I was telling you about their costumes, like how in depth they went into planning that. Like get to appreciate that, and like all the set designs and the songs. and just seeing your favourite like silly old bear brought to life, and these adventures. I get, whatever show I go see, I always get so immersed in it, and it just felt even better to be like Winnie the Pooh and get immersed in that. It was just so cute. Overall, I do rank the show 10 out of 10. It was just so much fun, and I was really sad when it ended because I felt like it ended too quickly. I was just so like living on front row with this show. It was just so cute. Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to see what the future of the show is. I believe it's had a really successful run here in the UK, and it was really successful while it was on Broadway. So really excited to see what happens with the future of this show, and I hope it does come back over here very soon. So if you have seen this show, be it over in America or over here, do let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of it. In case you couldn't tell, I give it 10 out of 10. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do pop the thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more from me and Pooh, do click subscribe down below. And I mean, you're already down there, you might want to click the notification bell. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye!